I actually had a 9 to 5. The goal of writing words might not be a good
That,
goal
yeah,
for them. It literally might just be 2 hours. I'm going to
yeah,
focus for 2 hours. But I still
yeah.
would say try and give yourself a reasonable goal of 100 words, 200 or 300 words for that
That's
2 hours, because you can procrastinate.
I think like we have to go through that all wildness in the initial phase. Like you wrote 5 books before you wrote Cecilia, which means you came up to the routine after you went through the uh, different kind of routine in initial phase. You, what I think is you have to go through those routines and then thinking that okay, this is not good now for me at this moment. I have to change. But initially, we need those routines. You have to go through things just step by step, and then at a place, at a point of our career in the working phase, we have to come up with more learnings from what happened in last few years or few work
It's
projects,
very true.
and then come up with more stronger, more which is like a work ethic and work schedule that will only give us more productivity. That is my thing. Like you have to go through, you can't just come up with 4 hours 20,000 words on your first project.
Oh,
You
no,
have to go through,
2,000 words.
yeah.
2,000.
Okay, okay,
20,000would be
I'm just
amazing.
I'm just like I'm just putting a number.
Oh, yes.
That is my point of like today what I
Mm.
have, the work schedule and things I have. Like there was no possibility that this happened 2 years back, but I just made sure that it happened, and it happened 2 years afterwards. So I just want to know, what is your thought? Like, should a new writer should go with this point of view? Like, okay, you have to do 2000, or they just go with it and then figure their stuff out? What's your thought?
Um, Look, because the other thing is there are a lot of people that have constraints where they literally only have 2 hours a day. And that even happened
Yeah.
to me while I was writing Cecilia. Actually, I'd finished writing, I was in the editing phase. I got a gig working on a documentary series. And so
Mhm.
I got up early. I made sure I was in the office at 7 o'clock in the morning. We
Okay.
started at 9, and I only had 2 hours. That was the 2 hours I had a day to edit, and I made sure I did that. So
Oh,
and editing is different. Editing is different to writing, so you can't really give yourself
yes.
a goal of how many words. However, if I was still having to write, I actually had a 9 to 5, but I still needed to work. So what I did is I said that's the only time slot I've got. So for
Oh.
people that are limited because they have a full-time gig, then
Mhm.
the goal of writing words might not be a good
That,
goal
yeah,
for them. It literally might just be 2 hours. I'm going to
yeah,
focus for 2 hours. But I still
yeah.
would say try and give yourself a reasonable goal of 100 words, 200 or
Mm.
300 words for that two
That's
hours, because you can procrastinate. And that's the thing. That's why I like the solid goals of getting words down, because there's
got
many
it.
ways we can procrastinate as writers. many,
Yeah,
many ways. And that's not good. They're bad
got
habits, the
got it, got it.
procrastination ones.
Thank you for sharing your point of view. Like this is the one thing that I just like, in if people don't have it, they'll just complain like, okay, I can't do 3,000 2,000 words, and this is not real for me at this moment. But yeah, you can come up with this with time. You have to just go all in the initial days, phase, years, and then you'll definitely come up with that whole routine, and that will be excellent routine. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your routine, Arthur. Now